Hello, welcome to this your channel, the better Eurofan. That's me. What happened with Finland last year was simply epic. There is no doubt that Karija was the biggest sensation of the season to the rhythm of his cha-cha-cha, with which she was quite close to get the victory. Personally, I would have liked him to win and take the contest for the second time in the Nordic country, but well, things as they are. It was Loreen who in the end took the crystal microphone and winning the contest to Sweden. Even so, they keep going, truly animated with this fantastic result. Although just by repeating that will be an authentic feat, but they do not lose the excitement at all. Let's see who will be the artist that will follow the steps of Karija by representing Finland on Mo. Here we go. For today's episode, I'm going to review the Finnish entry for Eurovision 2024, which will be represented by DJ Windows95Man and singer Henri Piispanen with the song No Rules. As usual, we start by taking a look at the biography and career of these two artists, and how this singular duet joins forces to attend the contest. First we have Teemu Keisteri, mostly well known as Windows95Man, which is a Finnish visual artist and a DJ coming from the city of Espoo and currently living in the Finnish capital Helsinki. Despite his standard photography studies, he will realize with the time that he feels more comfortable by being a visual artist rather than a photographer. In his beginnings, he used to publish homemade videos on YouTube, which got viral in his home country somehow, and that would lead him to develop other skills as radio commentator, dancer, model, and entertainer. He is known in Finland for giving life to iconic characters which are part of the popular culture in the country. In 2008, for example, he gave life to a character named Ukeli, in which he portrays through this one the Finnish cultural phenomena and lifestyle with a good dose of humor, from clothes to mugs. He has also another artistic project, which is an art gallery in the Finnish capital. He usually rents that space for those who want to organize art expositions in periods of 2 to 4 weeks. Musically speaking, he gets identified a lot with the 1980s, 1990s and 2000s music, having preference mainly on Italian disco, 1980s new wave and synth-pop, rave, Eurodance, 1990s hard trance, and 2000s Eurobeat. Many of these musical genres will be fundamental on his career as a DJ. It's in 2015 when he gets born a character who is mostly known nowadays. By then, in his beginnings as a DJ, during a musical festival in Helsinki, Teemu had the idea of wearing the most stupid possible outfit to outstand in the crowd, giving a funny touch looking to get the attention of the people who were attending. This outfit is essentially a white t-shirt and a hat of the same color, both of them with the Windows 95 logo, the well-known operating system by Microsoft, and the name short pants, making an aesthetic clearly inspiring the mid-1990s. That idea was so successful that the character started to become popular very quickly. Windows95Man was coming to stay. Since then, he has been acting and performing in diversity of events, both in Finland and other European countries, doing his DJ sessions with Eurodance and 1990s techno music. And he has availability to perform in all kind of parties, but public or private, in airplanes or elevators, he has no limitations at all. He also has released 2 EPs with mixes done by himself with tracks full of humor. To this point you will wonder, does this guy sing? Well, he does not actually sing, and that is the point with the performer I will mention up next. Henri Piispanen, on the other hand, is a Finnish dubbing actor, singer, songwriter and television host. As a dubbing actor, he has given his voice for the Finnish versions of most of the films and series aired in the country. Musically speaking, he is the singer and multi-instrumentalist of the pop rock band Pasa, which has a musical career since 2011, having 3 studio albums today with compositions mostly in Finnish. And he's also singing a keyboardist in another band, but this one of alternative rock called Contio Polaris, which has released an EP just on last year. Being them so different each other, surely comes to your mind and makes you think, how is that they end up working together to propose an entry, and even more try to represent Finland and Eurovision? Pay attention as we are going to check it out in full detail. As usual, the Finnish public broadcaster will organize what it went to be the 13th edition of their national final Uuden musiikin kilpailu. First, there was a very short submission period in late August of last year for the Finnish artists and songwriters who wanted to send their demo versions of their proposals. This call was quite successful, even surpassing the expectations, as 419 entries were received in 3 days according to the broadcaster, breaking the record achieved 2 years ago. Then an expert panel will be in charge of reviewing the received proposals to pick the 7 artists that will participate in the national final, having the latter ones until late October of last year to send the final versions of their proposals to the broadcaster. The presentation of the contestants and their participating songs were revealed on last January as usual, and in this case Windows95Man and Henri were among the chosen ones. In particular, for this edition, the national final was leaving once again Turku to go back to Tampere, but not to any venue like in previous editions, but opting for Nokia Arena, currently the biggest stadium in the country. This gives a very clear idea of how the national final has developed, to the point that they look for appropriate stadiums even for Eurovision Song Contest itself. During the televised show broadcasted on early February, the method to select a winner will remain the same, with the public having more weight than the international jury in the votes, 75% and 25% respectively. After the performances of all the finalists, the voting results produced a quite curious outcome. While Windows95Man and Henri were the last ones for the international jury, the public was rocketing them to the top, giving them the maximum score, surprisingly achieving the victory in the national final, and therefore gaining the right of representing Finland on neighboring Sweden. However, a few days after winning the competition, they bottomed out their participation in Eurovision, motivated to the still standing participation of Israel at the contest, to which the performers are opposed to. In this matter, the broadcaster decided to give them a few days to think about it much further before giving a final decision. It was a situation that never happened before in the national final until now, although the broadcaster had already a backup plan. In case of the winners opting to not participate at the contest, they will have the right of first refusal to the other finalists in ranking order to represent the country on Sweden. Finally, after completely reflecting on the matter, they decided that they will move forward with their participation, alleging that withdrawing will not cause a significant change or effect in the situation, but instead they would apply other strategies and their influence to make pressure on the EBU to exclude Israel from the contest, thus solving the issue. A song that appeals to the Eurodance nostalgia. Now I'm going to analyze in further detail the proposal they are presenting us for the contest. Melodically speaking, as I have said first, we have a late 1990s Eurodance track. It is just listening to it I get back to that time in an instant. I have to say in this case that the chorus is really catchy, to the point that you could start to hum the melody without realizing it. About their voices, it is what I have mentioned in their biography. Windows95Man does not really sing, so the lead vocals are credited to Henri, which has a very wide vocal range as it is noticed. The verses are in part declaimed by Windows95Man and sung by Henri, while the remaining parts of the song are mainly sung by Henri. There is an interesting anecdote about this song, by the way, because Henri had refused to sing the song at first, but by the time they sent the demo to the broadcaster, they had to do it with his voice initially. When they got selected, they went in search of a performer that could be capable to sing the complicated chorus due to its vocal difficulty, but they could not find anyone skilled enough. and Henri, who was the only one capable to sing that chorus, has finally opted to be the lead singer in the song. It comes to attention that he is not credited normally, considering the fact that he did not want to be featured as one of the performers. But by being him the lead singer, it is impossible to not credit him on the song, at least in my case. The lyrics, which were written by them, has its background. Jussi Roy, who is credited as one of the songwriters of the track, had the idea of making a song proper on Windows95Man, taking into account the popularity he has in the musical festivals where he performs. He composed it during the COVID-19 pandemic, and then he asked Henri to produce it. This event made the start of the collaboration between the DJ and the singer about the context behind the lyrics. They have commented that it is based on Windows95Man's life motto, encouraging to forget how you should dress, look, love, or behave according to the rules set by society, by not letting anyone else to define who you are. The message is pretty clear in this case, showcasing in a funny and carefree way that you do not have always to take things seriously, that there are also moments to relax and enjoy the good things in life. After knowing more about this particular song, let's see now how they developed the proposal through the official music video. Plot begins with Windows95Man introducing himself on the song, while he is sitting by a typical computer of the mid-1990s with two extra monitors on each side. Yeah, the big and heavy ones, with peripherals of that time. At the same time, there are also shots of Henri being tied in chains in a prison, insinuating that he will be captive somewhere. When the melody starts to be more energetic, you can see a specific shot to the keyboard, where curiously the configuration of the key shows the song's title, and a group of dancers start to appear, making a sort of funny dance. With the first verse, Windows95Man receives help and alert messages on his computer while working on it, with Henri singing from his cell. During the first chorus, Windows95Man is seen using a mouse and a joystick to trace the location of a specific place on a satellite map, taking witnesses footage of Henri still singing from his cell, insinuating that he will be captive in that place. Having traced him, Windows95Man gets up from his desk. He wears his outfit and gets onto a classic elliptic bike of the 1990s. With the second verse, he is seen flying with the elliptic bike by many natural landscapes. It is clear that they have done it using a chroma screen behind, which I find it pretty funny, while there are alternate shots of them with the dancers. Almost by the second chorus, Windows95Man makes a sexy movement, which is repeated many times using visual effects, and he is briefly seen tearing his outfit until getting almost naked. Come on, this is just total craziness and irreverence. They are still performing the song while they do a funny choreography with the dancers. And in some moment, Windows95Man locates the place where Henri is captive, getting there with his elliptic bike. Once there, he manages to open the door and gets to the cell, and there is where he finally finds Henri, opening the cell door to rescue him. During the bridge, both of them are seen flying in the clouds, while Henri is hugged to Windows95Man, who evidently considers his hero, while there are more of the shots previously seen before. By the last chorus, the same dynamic continues with energetic dances and funny poses, until the performance finishes with Windows95Man and Henri on their knees and holding hands into the cell. After the irreverent scene in the music video, many will imagine beforehand that the staging will be something quite extravagant and crazy. Let's take a look at the live performance at Uuden Musiikin kilpailu, recalling the staging in the national final. The first thing we see at the start of the performance is a giant egg made of the nymph. At first you cannot understand what was doing there, and then later when the first verse starts, the egg opens up, with Windows95Man inside of it, just wearing his Windows 95 t-shirt and hat and being in underwear. I get that this would represent his birth as a musical artist somehow. The song is his first official single, in fact. Then Henri appears behind the egg with a full denim costume, where stands out that coat made with scraps of the same fabric, while Windows95Man gets out of the bed to move around all the stage. And then two male dancers appear wearing outfits regarding to the ninja. What is really curious during all the performance is that somehow the camera shot his positions of the dancers standing in front of him, avoid to get a closer look to his crotch. I guess intended that the performance could be suitable for children, which will make sense. With the second verse, Henri goes with the dancers to the cupboard in front of the stage, while Windows95Man stays there. He comes to attention when a Roman from the production crew appears to one side of the stage giving instructions to him, which he decides to ignore completely by throwing away the paper. The performance remains pretty similar, with the focus on Henri while he performs the chorus. Then when the bridge comes, something is seen hanging with some ropes from the ceiling and going down slowly. This were Windows95Man denim short pants. While he takes them to dress them up, the focus goes back to Henri, which is singing almost crawling on the floor. A few seconds later, Windows95Man is wearing his short pants. The dancers let go the ropes by the last chorus, and the rope that remains in his hands starts to emit sparklers from both ends unexpectedly, while he goes around in circles spreading the sparkles at the center of the stage. I had to admit that I was not expecting this at all, and I guess it has surprised to everyone in fact. The energetic dynamic keeps going on, until Henri and the dancers joins Windows95Man at the center of the stage to finish the performance there. I have to say that maybe I'd expected a similar dynamic like in the music video for the stage, but it is true that appealing to the song's title and his motto, they had to have fun on the stage and make the people smile, doing whatever they wanted, and it has to be said that it was crazy as hell. Many people had to be open-mouthed, jumping and enjoying the rhythm of the song. About the performance of both of them on the stage, we have to value them separately. In the case of Windows95Man being true to his character that is widely popular in his country, it was not strange for him to have a massive support from the audience. In the other hand, the vocal performance from Henri was quite good overall, although I felt that he faced difficulties to hit the high notes live, but it was a reliable performance overall. Making a summary of all of the comments, the finished entry for this year is fun and extravagant. It is one of my favorites of this year, I have to admit, but I cannot deny that it has a huge potential to cheer both the people on the venue and the viewers in Europe and the rest of the world. For the staging in Malmö, they will keep the same dynamic they have done in the national final for sure, although who knows if they have in mind any other surprise to give us. There is also another detail that it has not been mentioned too much, and it is about the name of Windows95Man and the essence of its character. This comes to the fact that, according to the contest rules, no commercial brands are allowed in the proposal, including the artist's name, the image, or the lyrics of the song. In this case, the Finnish broadcaster has not required him to change his stage name ahead of Eurovision, taking into account that Windows95 has ceased of being a protected trademark a long time ago. But in case of being requested by the EU, they will have already a backup plan. Apart from this, we only just have to wait until they present their unique proposal on the main stage of Malmö. And you, what do you think about the Finnish entry for this year? Let me know your comments down below to keep the discussion. And this is it for today's episode. If this video has been of your taste, give a like, also subscribe to my channel, hit the bell to enable the notifications, and follow me through my social media. Take care and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.